Yo, what's up everybody? Welcome back to another video on the channel. Today I'm going to be breaking down one of my little light, real tight beats, but I also went and infiltrated some of the dark pop loop presets from Arcade. They just dropped a couple of new banks, so it is like totally cool. I advise you guys to go ahead and check that out. We also going to be checking out some of the plugins that I threw on top of the mixer track and how I manipulated some of the sounds to get this full complete beat that I have here. So let's go ahead and jump right on into the beat. All right, so let's go into the breakdown of the beat. We already got FL Studio open. This is basically a whole arrangement of the beat right about here. And to start off, I went ahead and I grabbed Spawn. I threw in a couple of presets for basically what I wanted to sound like. And here is the original melody that I generated from Spawn, and then I went ahead and broke down each sound into its own designated VSTs and added some plugins. So let's go ahead and check out the loop. Yeah, so as you can see, that shit is like amazing. So when it comes down to Spawn, what I like to do first is I basically come inside of Spawn. I figure out what type of vibe I'm going to have up here inside of the presets bank. And then once I go ahead and render out whatever, whatever presets that I have, and I found a good melody that I want to use, I go ahead and I mess around with the presets. So in here, if you come over to this section here, you can basically change up and down when it comes down to the bass, the bells, different type of instruments, stuff like that. So once I figure out what I got, I solo out each of the tracks, because obviously it's being broken down into like 3 different melodies. You got your melody, you got your chorus, and then you got your bass. So I just basically broke down each of different dynamics of the loop and rendered them out into their own separate tracks. So let's go into the first track that I rendered out. Quite simple. This is it for the first mixer track. We went ahead and I added a parametric EQ. I went ahead and added a chorus June from the Arturia Bank collection, the FX effects, and I added a fruity delay with a couple of custom made presets that I got. So let's go ahead and listen to the first sound. All right, so the next one that we got is basically that same sound, but I used a different instrument. So let's go ahead and hear that out. As you can hear, there's a lot of movement inside of that melody. I'm gonna show you what presets that I put on top of this pattern and the plugins. So what I got is from Arturia, the FX collection. I got the Flanger BL20, and I got that on a breakdown preset. And the only other thing that I have on there is parametric EQ. So it's a lot going on with this. It's a lot, but then it's not, because there's only like one freaking plugin on here. And shout out to Arturia for their FX collection. It's like amazing. I've really been starting to dig into those, and I find myself going back and forth between T-Rack 6 and now the Arturia FX collection. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna be showcasing more of the Arturia. Let's move on to the next sound. This is basically the bass. Now for this, I didn't really do too much. We're gonna go on to preset 3. I added knock and I added an EQ. I took out some of the highs, just fixed up some of the lows. But when it comes down to the knock, I didn't use any other default presets inside of it. All I did was turn up the punch, added some saturation, added a little bit more sub, and turned down the clip just a smidge. So that's how we got that variation for that one. Now we're just gonna go on ahead down to mixer 4. Go ahead and hear this one out, and then I'm gonna tell you what presets I threw on it. All right, so we're gonna go ahead down to preset 4, and on this one, shout out to T-Rex, I went ahead and I did the lo-fi punch with the preset just a little bit, and all I did was just turn down the output and the input a little bit, and I just added a little bit more width. It was on about 40%. I added about an extra 20% to the width, and that's how you got that like lo-fi wavy, like it's a lot of movement, but again, it's not that many plugins on here. So after that, I added a compressor. Shout outs to Arturia again. The 4:1 ratio, it really brightened it up and brought it to life. So I added that plugin as well, and then I just cleaned up a little bit of the frequencies with a parametric EQ. We're gonna move on to the next sound, which is actually another bass. I doubled up on the bass. The first one is more area than this one, and this one is real more prominent, and just it's more dark. So let's go ahead and tap and check this out. Yeah, so like I said, for this one, I just added a knock and I just added a compressor. With the knock, I basically did the same thing for the first bass that I previewed. And so then after that, I added a compressor with I added the Arturia 609 compressor, the bass. So it really brought that out, made it way more, you know, in depth. So we're gonna move right along to the next sound that we had. And I'm gonna let you hear it, and then I'm gonna break down all the plugins. So that one, I got that from the Arturia. Now we jumping on into some of the dark pop presets. That's one of the vocal presets inside of there. It is the Love Bank. The Love Bank. So when it comes down to that loop and that sound, we went ahead and I added a tube compressor, added a flanger, and then I just added some EQ to it. So when it came down to the tube compressor, I put on a heavy vocal compressor with that one, and I turned up the output just a smidge. Then when it came down to the flanger, I used a function modulation. So it's basically like a moving, wavy type of effect that was thrown on it. And then a parametric EQ to just clean up some of those and bring out the highs a little bit more. The next one, I have 2 sets on this one. So we have one where we have movement. Shout outs to Output. They went dumb when it comes down to this plugin. I knew about movement, but I never actually went and downloaded it and started messing around with a lot of the presets, but this is so cool. So I actually rendered this out twice, one with movement on and one with movement off. So here's that sound without the movement on it. And now we're going to hear it with movement on it. That's so cool. So let's continue to move right along. We got our next sound, and I got this from Arcade as well, the Dark Pop collection. I'm still inside of the Love presets. And so when it comes down to that last sound, I basically just added another tube compressor, and then I messed around with this reverb, this intensity reverb. Shout out to Arturia again. They really have some great FX collections. I really haven't, like I said before, I haven't dug into them, but I've really been digging into them for the last 2-3 days, and they are freaking amazing. And on top of that, the presets is freaking dope as hell. So I got this preset Dreamy Feedback, and then I also added a parametric EQ just to clean up the frequencies just a little bit. So yeah, that was this last sound. Now, I went ahead, when it comes down to the drums, I've been working on my new drum kit. It hasn't dropped yet at all. I'm still preparing it. I'm not rushing to drop this. I'm really tweaking every single last sound. Even if I have something that I put inside of the drum kit, I'm gonna go back and make sure that it's perfect into the T. So be on the lookout for the Imperishable Perfection drum kit. It will be dropping next year, 2025. But yeah, every sound that's inside of the drums is definitely from my kit that I've been creating so diligently. So let's go ahead and add all these sounds back, and we are going to check out the beat. So that is the Regrets light drill type beat. We went ahead and broke down everything. Appreciate everybody joining. Thank you so much for coming through, stopping by. Drop a comment, hit the like button. And if you got any tips or tricks, anything that you want to share with me, just go ahead and drop a comment. Definitely appreciate it.